So welcome back to Worthington Model Railway. Apologies, I haven't posted anything in a little while. I had a lot of things going on. I'm in the process of trying to get a house ready to be sold and moving out, and it's taken up a lot of my time, and so that doesn't affect the model train layout, which is in the house that I'm moving into. So I just haven't had time to really put too much together, but I got a package from Rails yesterday, so I thought I'd open that up and show you it today. So let's open this up. Usual good packaging by Rails. This box did have a plastic bag on the outside too, which is really nice because sometimes the weather can interfere. I ordered this a couple of weeks ago at least, and for some reason it got stuck in US Customs in Chicago. It sat there for over a week. I have no clue why, but they obviously, at some point, they didn't open it, so I have no clue just what went on. But anyway, it's now here, and as I think you can see from the blue and red through this bubble wrap, that it's going to be something from Bachmann. And here it is. And if you can see that, it's a Class 4MT 460. This was one of Rails's specials, and I'm always one to like a bargain. I kind of looked at this before, but decided it was a little on the pricey side, so I thought that I would give it a miss, and then I saw it on sale, so it's like, okay, this looks good, and I'll show you the end of the box. If you can see that, so this is, let's do it this way, 31-117 is the BR Standard Class 4MT 75014, BR black lined early emblem, and it's an 8-pin DCC decoder. I'm just going to put a regular decoder in this. I'm not going to mess around with sound on this right now, but I will put an 8-pin decoder in before we run it on the layout, which is probably going to be tomorrow before I get that done. So anyway, let's open it up and we'll have a look at it. I'm a little concerned there that it looks like there might be something loose in the packaging, which would be a pain, but hey, we have to deal with that as and when. So one thing that is exceptionally fine on this is this detail here that we'll look at in a second. But anyway, let's get it out. Let's see what we're dealing with. And here's all the info. So we can look at that, and don't need to look at that right now, but we'll look at that later when we have to get it open to DCC fit. And I see quite an extensive pack of detail fittings here. If you look in here, what do we have? We get some pipes, and I don't know quite what all those are, but we can certainly take a look and see what we got. I'm sure the information is in the package there. So let's get this opened, and not quite sure what's going on here. So definitely a piece here loose that's going to need sticking back on. Not quite sure where it's from, but we'll find out. And yeah, these pipes, I don't know if you can see those pipes there, they should be flat, and they weren't, and they are actually broken. So I may have to get a little tiny bit of glue out to fix that. But it's interesting because the brake rigging is already fitted. And we'll take a better look at it in a second. Let me get this stuff out of the way. So here we have the locomotive, and you can see, hopefully you can see, there's some nice detail there on the rear of the tender. So generally speaking, all around a nice tender. Does not appear to be any tender pickups, which is always a little disappointing. We'll see how it runs. So I'm thinking the 8-pin DCC decoder is inside of the locomotive shell, because I don't see anything in the tender from that point of view. So what do we have here? So as I said, phenomenal amount of pipe detail there. Absolutely wonderful on both sides. Lining is very nice, and running plate looks pretty good there. So nice wheel detail. You know, there's not a lot going on here. I mean, there's some nice lining on here and here, but not a tremendous amount. There is a maker's plate there. I don't know if the camera's picking that up or not. Try to get the better focus here. Sometimes it's, there we go. So there's the maker's plate. Let's look in the cab. Probably less detail in the cab than we're used to. Those gauges are just white splodges, and there's a couple of painted wheels there, but not phenomenal amount of detail. Looks like these move on the roof, slide back and forth, and sprung buffers. Well, that one looks a bit off. Take it there are sprung buffers on the back of the tender too. Yes, there are. So all in all, I mean, it's a nice model. It's nicely put together. Not as highly detailed as we might expect today. I'm taking it this is probably an older model. I could look it up, I suppose. Interesting, there are some pipes on the tender too that I hadn't just noticed. So the question has to be, where did this come from? And where does it have to go back? Well, I'm going to have to take a look and see if I can work that out. Okay, so let's look at the information about the the class, which is on the back of the box. So it's a class 4MT 460. Mixed traffic, obviously. There's the info. So if you want to read this, you can read it. Okay. Okay. Well, let me get this thing open, and let's try to get a DCC decoder in it, and then we'll go run it. So it seems to get this body off, there is a screw which is located through this hole. There we go. Get that one out. And there is a screw back here under the actuator, which you can just about get into. Get out. Okay, so we got those two screws out. Hopefully this body comes off. There we go. That's very simple. Okay, and one of the screws, and the other one, I take it, is still sitting in there. Okay, that's good, so I know where my screws are. Okay, and here is the DCC decoder socket, and hopefully this blanking plate just comes off pretty easily. Yep, there we go, and just wiggle it up and off. Okay, and now let's put an 8-pin decoder in there. I am going to try something. I got a couple of different 8-pin decoders lying around, so let me go get a couple and see which one's going to work. So I looked at a couple of options of 8-pin decoders, and I decided to go with this one, which is a quite a small Digitrax one. It's a DN136PS, and no, I don't think there's going to be a ton of room in here to get a decoder in, and so that's why I went with this one, and I'm hoping there will be enough room to get it in. If I look at kind of where this sits, looks like there's a little bit of room right in the front there. So let's get this in. And fortunately they don't tell you which pin here is pin 1. And we know it's the orange wire, but can't see here where the orange wire goes to on the decoder. So that is not great. And on this one there was no sign of anything, so I have a 50-50 chance of getting this right, I suppose. I'm gonna I'll try it this way first. I may not put the body on until I check the decoder, because I don't know. It's not great, Bachmann. You should give us some indication there. Okay, let me get a piece of track out, and let me see if I can program this decoder and see which way it's working. So that's the wrong way. The thing's running in reverse, so let me get this out and try putting it the other way, see if that works. Okay, so let's go forward, and then we'll reverse, and it should slow down, and then reverse, forward. Great. Okay, let's put this back together. This is where I get a little bit of a tad annoyed at Bachmann. There is no room to put a decoder in here. I just don't see how to do it. I've tried at different places. That is a small decoder too. I mean, it's not like I've got a big decoder I'm trying to put in there. So I don't know what they think in terms of people are going to do. So anyway, we'll play with it a little bit more and see if we can somehow or other get the decoder to fit. But as you can probably see here, if you look at this gap here, there's just not enough room to get the body back on with a decoder in there. Problem. So after a lot of finagling, I got it in there. I got the body back on. Interestingly, I discovered that this front firebox door opens. Anyway, so we are now running. It's that smooth, but we'll probably get there after it runs in a bit. But we seem to be good. As always, thank you for watching. Sorry the sound is a little bit choppy in places there. Please like the video, hit that like button, and if you haven't subscribed, the subscribe button to the top right, another video to the top left.